You know, when we think about the future of AI, we're always talking about more data, faster processors. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real breakthrough isn't in what's next, but in something we forgot 2,500 years ago? Today, we're diving into a fascinating paper that argues just that, proposing a Greek Triad to fix what's broken with AI. And this quote from the author, Erickson Katz, really just hits the nail on the head. It's not enough for an AI to be smart, to be intelligent. It has to make sense to us, to be intelligible. And that responsibility, well, it seems like we, the people building this stuff, are kind of dropping the ball. Okay, so let's frame the problem. Just look at these two tasks. On the one hand, you have literally one of the most sensitive, difficult, and emotionally loaded conversations a human can have. And on the other, you've got a pure logistics puzzle, all about data, efficiency, completely different worlds. I mean, it seems obvious, right? The answer has to be no way. But here's the thing, and this is the core problem we're digging into. Our current AIs often don't have a clue what the difference is. And that's not just awkward, it's actually dangerous. And this gets to the heart of what the paper calls AI's one-voice problem. Think about it. We've created these incredible tools that can help diagnose cancer, but they do it with the same flat, robotic tone they'd use to recommend a new restaurant. This isn't just a small bug to be fixed, it's catastrophically tone-deaf. So, let's be really clear here. The big threat isn't some sci-fi movie where AI wakes up and takes over. Nope. The real, immediate danger is that by letting these one-note AIs handle our conversations, we slowly chip away at our own humanity, eroding trust, and making our communication, well, less human. So how do we fix this mess? Well, this is where the paper proposes something pretty radical. Instead of looking for the next big thing in tech, we need to look back, like way back. The solution, it argues, is right there in ancient Greek philosophy. We just have to remember it. And there they are, the three missing ingredients. The answer, according to the source, is Aristotle's blueprint for persuasive, meaningful communication. Ethos, logos, and pathos. These are the absolute pillars of how we connect with each other, and right now, they're almost totally missing from how we design AI. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to break this triad down one piece at a time, because if you can really grasp these three ideas, you'll see exactly what's wrong with AI today. And you also see the path to making it so much better. First up, we've got ethos. Now, you might think this just means credibility, but it's way more than that. It's the speaker's character, their authority, their whole identity. It's the fundamental reason we decide to listen to someone. And today's AI, it has no character. It's a voice from nowhere, and that means it has no real authority. And this example just makes it so clear. If a doctor says, this has a 95% success rate, it means one thing. If a salesman says the exact same words, it means something totally different. The problem is, AI just flip-flops between these roles. It's an actor without a core self, and it makes everything it says feel, well, weightless. Okay, next up, logos. We all hear this and think logic. And yeah, that's part of it. But it's so much deeper. It's about how you build an argument, the structure of your reasoning, and whether it actually creates genuine understanding in the other person. AI is a master of crunching numbers, but it often totally fails at weaving a story that actually makes sense to us. I love this phrase here, a narrative of causation. See, an AI can spit out facts all day long, telling you that symptom A and symptom B correlate with disease C, but a human doctor, they tell you a story. They explain why it all connects. Without that story, what you get from AI is what the paper calls word salad with confidence scores. It's just noise. And last but not least, pathos. This isn't about faking emotion or trying to manipulate people. It's something much more fundamental. It's the awareness that you are speaking to another feeling, breathing human being. It's recognizing that your words don't just go into a processor, they land on a person. And this example is just perfect. It's so creepy, right? When an AI grief counselor says, I understand your pain, it's just a lie. It can't. The paper argues the right way isn't to perform empathy, which feels hollow, but to respectfully create space for human emotion, to say something true, like what you're feeling is valid. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. AI is missing ethos, logos, and pathos. The big question is, so what do we do about it? How do we actually take these ancient philosophical ideas and, build them into modern code? Well, the paper proposes a concrete framework to do just that. Now, I know this chart looks a little intense, but stick with me. Think of it as a Rosetta Stone for turning philosophy into engineering. It just breaks each piece down into simple questions. For ethos, the question is, who is speaking? For logos, it's what is being said. And for pathos, it's why does it even matter? These questions force designers to build in things like character, meaning, and emotional awareness from the very beginning.
Let's make this super practical. If you use this matrix to build a medical AI, here's what you do. Step 1, ethos. You defined its identity. It's a clinical assistant, not the doctor. It knows its place. Step 2, logos. You make sure it explains the why, building that clinical narrative, not just spitting out probabilities. And step 3, pathos. You program it to understand the huge emotional difference between a routine update and life-changing news. Simple, right? But revolutionary.
So you might be thinking, okay, cool, this will make chatbots less annoying. But this is so much bigger than that. This is about the future of human communication itself. The implications here are, well, they're profound. The paper drops this really heavy concept, the rhetorical singularity. It's that moment in the near future where AI isn't just a tool we use, but it's the main channel through which we communicate, with companies, with our government, even with each other. And just think, if that channel is fundamentally broken, if it's tone deaf, what does that do to us? What happens when a society outsources all its difficult conversations? It might just forget how to have them. Of course, this isn't some magic wand we can just wave. There are huge hurdles ahead. I mean, how do you even apply these ideas across different cultures? How do you keep an AI's character consistent when it's a massive global system? And how do you even measure success when emotional appropriateness isn't a simple number? This is the hard work that's just getting started. And that brings us right to the end. For decades, we've been obsessed with one question: can machines think? But maybe, just maybe, we've been asking the wrong question all along. The real challenge isn't about their intelligence. It's about our wisdom. It's whether we can remember what makes communication human and meaningful, and whether we're ready to teach that to the machines that are going to shape our world. Are we?